My computer has been giving me problems, and so I'm really hoping that this video isn't like glitchy. It's like running super slow and it's annoying. All right, our February, I almost said April. Time travel, our February, the most recent live session in the shortest month of the year was all about AI. And so we started off the session by saying we have tried to get some of you to dip your toe into AI through like the asynchronous work or the tech tool PD stuff. And then the month of February, in this month, we decided, why am I struggling with that? We decided to just shove it down your throats and say, like, this is important. And so if you engaged in the pre-work or you came to the live session, you got a full dose of some intro to AI stuff. The reason we think this is important is because it is a potentially very valuable tool. We are interested in what this looks like in the modern classrooms world when it comes to assessment and feedback and teacher efficiency and deep critical thinking. And we love working with all of you people because you have chosen to go through this and you're kind of on that bleeding edge of let's try new stuff and let's really think outside the box and think about what's best for students. And so we wanted to pitch this and give some AI to your critical brains and say what works, what doesn't, and just get that conversation started. So again, 2 sessions. We had Monday and Wednesday, and we started off by just asking this question. So imagine like you're way in the future and things are great, you're way in the future things are bad, right? What does that look like for AI? And this is a really, really good one just to surface some potential fears or some potential hopes. And what do we think about when we think of AI? So some of this was a repeat of the stuff in the pre-work. A lot of what you saw in the pre-work or in that live session was work that we are consistently doing when we're talking to teachers about using AI in the classroom. We always start off with this concept of demystification because it is not the Terminator. It is not the. Actually, I have this picture that I've been meaning to use somewhere sitting here in my email that a friend sent me. This is like what we hear about in the news, like, oh my gosh, AI Terminator is taking over everything. And AI in real life is really struggling. You should see me struggle with this recently to create some pictures, whatever. It's point is there's this hype cycle, this like, oh my gosh, this is changing everything. And we see this a lot, but then we very quickly start to see some of these limitations. The difference here is I have been telling people this is one of the most game changing tools for education that we have seen potentially in my lifetime because of its potential. By itself, it's not going to do anything, but left alone, it will do some harm. And harnessed, it has the potential to do the most good, which is kind of what you can say about a lot of technology in the classroom. It's just a tool, it's how we use it, it's just a tool. So we wanted to start off with some common definitions here, which you can pause the video and read. I'm not going to read them to you, but it's just important to know that we've seen artificial intelligence for a long time. The large language model and machine learning is really like the combination, the game changer here that we've been seeing. This conversational synthesis of information and huge, vast amounts of data with this algorithms learning, that's really the game changer. And so what we wanted to do was think about how you can use some of these tools to make your life easier. So we curated these 3 tools. There's a ton out there. We curated these 3 tools that we think are the most important. No, we'll give you the most bang for your buck because they do some cool things. So ChatGPT is the big one. I almost always have this open here on my other screen. This is a fun tool in that like there's a lot to learn. And one of the things that I've been talking about with people recently is this is not just a search engine. This can do some very, very cool things. For example, I am talking to it currently about right after I'm done with this video, I'm jumping in and I am designing our next live session or pre-work for the shift to student-led resource study. And so this is a prompt that I gave it. And again, you can just pause this video and look what's going on here. Oh, look what I did. That's really funny. Typo, but like it's still understood what I'm talking about because of the context. That's hilarious. Also, I'm a child, so that's funny. This notice the prompt that I gave it is I told it what it's familiar with. I told it correctly what I'm working on, and then I asked it to ask me questions. And I'm having this conversation to deepen my thinking about this, and then it gives me some suggestions. So it's not just a search something, give me answers. It is it's a conversational chatbot, right? Where you can it's pretty powerful. So we did some activities here where we showed some ways you can use prompts, kind of like I just did there, but also like how can this act as a competent intern for you? If you had someone for you that could just offload these like menial tasks, this is a really great tool. One of the questions we got in the live session was, oh, I am gonna have to pause this video at some point and find the feedback actually. But one of the questions we got in the live session was, can this automatically update my progress tracker for me? Which I think is taking a lot of time for a lot of people. And the answer that I found is not yet. But one of the things that I've been doing with this is um, I like to um, ask this thing to do things in Google Sheets for me. So what you're seeing here is like last week, earlier this week, sometime, I asked it to help me create a project planner in Google Sheets because I'm really struggling with my own flow of work. I've just got a ton of stuff going on in all these different places for all these different people with all these different shifting deadlines. And so I asked it to create me a project track or progress tracker or project planner. That was a tough one too. Speaking's not my thing today, and it gave me this, and it didn't actually create it for me, but it gave me some ideas. And so then I asked it to tell me more about this. How could we do this? And then so then I literally asked it, like, give me a formula, a function to put into Google Sheets. And what's frustrating about this is it actually doesn't work. So here is my progress tracker, and I had this other tab. Slow computer today. I had this other tab that was a calendar. There's a point to this, by the way. I'm not just goofing around. So I had this other tab that was a calendar here, and what I wanted it to do was automatically take things from my list on this first sheet here based off of their due date, use a function, and it would automatically populate my calendar so I could see all this in a calendar view. It gave me the stuff, and I cannot figure out how to make it work. And the reason I tell you that is because, like, look at this, create a sheet for me, doesn't work, this isn't working, it's not populating, give me an error, tell me more about that, this is the error that I'm getting. And then I kind of ran into a stopping point here and haven't revisited it. But this is not infallible, right? Like this, there are some good ideas here. Again, it's not just a search engine; it can be more of a thought partner, or it can really kind of do whatever you want. But knowing all of that, how can this make your life easier? So I don't know how to make this automatically update your progress tracker, but you might be able to ask it how to automatically update your progress tracker depending on the context that you give it. So we spent a decent amount of time with ChatGPT, just like we did here, because I think that is the most important thing you can be working with. It encompasses pretty much everything. Now, there are other tools out there that do super cool stuff. So like Scribe, ChatGPT can't do that. Scribe is great because it's just this extension. You click on it, you hit start capture, you do some sort of action, like I go to my Google Drive, I go to my drive, I pull up my folder, and then I pull up improvement science, I pull up my day one notes, which there's not going to be anything in here, but it doesn't matter. I go to tools, I go to translate doc, I say translate to this language, it translates that document, and then I stop complete capture. My computer is giving me a hard time today. Uh, and then it's automatically going to give me a step by step with images of the things that I did that I could then send this to anyone. Um, so you can uh, you can grab that if you find yourself constantly saying like, hey, where do I go to find the progress tracker, where do I go, and you're constantly telling these same things. This is a great way to create something to support parents, right? Here's how you get kids into your learning management system. Like click 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 click, copy link, post somewhere, and it has this stuff for you, and this stuff is editable, right? Like I can go in here, I can change these things, I can add alt text. It's pretty great. So again, a really great way just to save you some time. Then Magic School, so you go to magicschool.ai. It is free. There is a paid version, but the free version, you get quite a bit of stuff. When you get to that free version, uh, think of this like ChatGPT, but you've built a scaffold around it, right? It takes all of that intentional prompt engineering out, and this will do a bunch of things for you. And I really, really like Raina, this like tech coach or this educational coach chatbot. It's very helpful as well. So we went through all of those different tools. We gave some people a chance to play with this. We didn't get into breakout rooms because we had relatively low attendance, and so we just stayed on that main session and we all talked about it. And then we just kind of kicked around how does this work with ChatGPT? How does this work with Modern Classrooms project? Then we went through our month at a glance. This is posted in the Canvas. Notice the different things on here. I won't go in that too much, but our next session will be March 11th, so in about 2 weeks, 2 weeks or so here. Uh, Always at Monday 5:30, Wednesdays 6 to 7:30, and we only have 3 of those left. So we would love to see you people. We are thinking about what these live sessions are going to be. I can guess right now. So we got access to some stuff from Modern Classrooms Project, which is super cool. Um, and we're excited to share that with you. That'll probably be the focus of our work for the month of March. We're going to start talking about how to share the good word in April, most likely. And we haven't talked about May, but at the very beginning of the year, we talked about a wrap up year end reflection and what are some next steps. So I'm assuming we'll kind of go around that as well. As always, let us know if you need any help. I'm sorry this one was a little bit longer, but this one tickles my tech brain, and I was very excited about it. All right. Talk to everybody later. I don't have a good sign off. Peace.